Welcome to Alpha Recap. I'm glad you joined us after the close. Today, we're unpacking a seemingly small press release that actually touches some big strategic themes for software platforms. As always, if you have questions, you can reach us at stockalpha.ai.
Thanks for having me. I read the Pearson release on the Certiport Adobe Certified Professional World Championship, and honestly, I was a bit surprised by how much strategic texture was hiding behind what looked like a PR moment.
Yeah, same. On the surface, it was just an announcement of winners, but there's more. So, what really stands out here is the persistence of this program.
It's the 13th year of the competition. That longevity is the first signal. Programs that last that long tend to do more than create headlines. They build cohorts.
Cohorts, meaning groups of students, educators, and trainers who learned and validated skills on a specific toolset. Right. And the other thing is,
Those cohorts can bias future demand. If schools teach Adobe tools and students graduate with recognized credentials, hiring managers see less friction in onboarding and may prefer candidates who already know the software. I mean, when you step back and look at this, certification is a kind of weak to strong network effect. It starts soft, familiarity and preference, and can crystallize into institutional licensing over time.
So to put that in plain terms, early on, companies win with features and price. Later on, lock-in and behavioral habits matter. Education becomes part of that lock-in. Yeah, that tracks.
Exactly. And this is where Pearson and Certiport come in. They're running the testing and competitions, which lets a platform like Adobe outsource credentialing. It's cost-effective for the platform and credible for schools.
Right, so the press release we saw last night was distributed by PR Newswire. It confirmed the winners and highlighted Pearson's ongoing role. The release itself didn't include numbers like how many candidates took the exam or growth rates.
That's the important gap. The announcement confirms persistence, but it doesn't quantify scale. So analysts are left to debate the impact using a qualitative framework.
Which is what we saw in the market commentary. Two camps. Skeptics said this is a modest PR moment with little short-term financial impact. Supporters argued it's a long-horizon strategic tailwind. Thoughts?
Both camps are right, depending on horizon. Skeptics point out that certification rarely moves subscriber metrics or average revenue per user in the next quarter. Supporters say early familiarization can raise lifetime value years down the road.
And that tension is critical, because market valuations often focus on the near term. If something is only going to pay off over multiple reporting cycles, it's easy to dismiss.
Yeah, and if you're an education sector investor, the take is different. Pearson, running Certiport, reinforces its role in credentialing and opens pathways for monetizing related services like content and delivery infrastructure. There's also a marketing angle. These competitions generate stories, user content, evangelists. For the platform owner, it's relatively low-cost brand reinforcement compared with big ad spends.
But measurable near-term revenue uplift is weak. So marketing ROI looks positive qualitatively, but not so much on the balance sheet right away.
Right. That's why this is better read as a qualitative signal. It tells you the company is investing in pipeline and credentials, not that revenue will spike next quarter.
Let's get practical. For different types of investors, what did analysts say this implied?
For growth investors, certification is a long-duration tailwind. Watch leading indicators like certification volumes and whether graduates influence institutional licensing. For value and income investors, it's peripheral unless it starts to move cash flow or margins. For thematic investors focused on workforce development, it checks a box on social impact and access.
And for EdTech watchers, Pearson's role matters. If they can bundle higher margin services around Certiport, that's revenue the market would notice. But so far, we didn't see any such disclosures in the PR.
Exactly. The PR was silent on conversion metrics. No candidate counts, no pass rates, no credential to license conversion stats. Those are the numbers that would change the story materially.
So let's put together a monitoring checklist for listeners who want to track whether this turns into something bigger.
First, certification volumes. Are more people taking and passing Adobe certification exams? Growth there strengthens the pipeline thesis. Second, conversion indicators. Do certified users convert to paid commercial licenses at higher rates? Third, channel expansion. Is Certiport moving into new geographies or school systems? Fourth, any direct commentary or data from Adobe tying certification to licensing or enterprise deals. Lastly, Pearson strategy. Are they bundling or monetizing adjacent services?
Those are concrete things to watch. And a two-part point here. 1. Persistence matters. This is year 13. 2. Scale matters. The PR didn't quantify scale. You need both to move the needle on revenue or moats. Quick reality check. Even if certification drives adoption, it's rarely binary. It reduces switching costs and shortens onboarding. But whether that translates into more enterprise license purchases depends on how hiring managers and procurement teams behave.
Right. If employers start to prefer candidates with Adobe certification, enterprise buyers may be more willing to purchase commercial licenses instead of free or student plans. But that outcome requires scale and employer recognition.
Let's call out a couple of nuanced points analysts noted. 1. Outsourcing credentialing is cheaper for a platform than building its own testing infrastructure. 2. Credentialing partners bring credibility and reach into education systems, which is a differentiated channel versus straight consumer marketing.
And 3, from a social lens, certification programs can support workforce development objectives. That matters for thematic and ESG investors who care about skills access and employability.
Okay, quick rapid-fire reactions. Hold on, say that again?
The short version, persistence plus scale equals potential moat benefit. Persistence without scale equals marketing exercise. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big move? Not yet, but worth tracking.
Let's close with clear takeaways so listeners can walk away with a checklist.
First takeaway. The Pearson press release confirmed the 13th annual Certiport competition, showing persistence in a certification pipeline. Second takeaway. This is a qualitative signal about ecosystem strategy, useful, but not a near-term earnings driver. Third takeaway. Watch the metrics we discussed: certification volumes, conversion to paid licenses, channel expansion, and any Adobe disclosures tying certifications to sales. Fourth takeaway. Different investor types should interpret the news through their time horizons.
Perfect. And one last practical note. Treat this as part of a mosaic. Certification is one piece. Product improvements, pricing strategy, and enterprise wins are other pieces that together determine whether a platform's education efforts become a durable competitive advantage.
Exactly. Analysts note the PR was an incremental confirmation of strategy, not a game changer on its own. Follow the data that can quantify impact.
If you have questions about anything we covered today, head to stockalpha.ai, where you can ask us directly and we'll answer live. For more market analysis and insights, visit stockalpha.ai. Thanks for listening to Alpha Recap. See you next time after the close.